and I'm currently a year 11 student doing my GCSEs right now.
And then we have Mahdiyya.
Hi, I'm a student and I'm doing my A-levels right now. I'm juggling 2 part-time jobs and my mum owns Atlas Boxing.
Right. So these two sisters are the daughters of the owners of Atlas Boxing, and they're here today to tell us a little bit about it, like how it started and why they do it. So my first question is, how did Atlas Boxing start?
So my mum actually started boxing for personal reasons, like losing weight, for example. However, she found that it actually changed her life. So she wanted to give back to the community. So her and her business partner, G. Lester, started Atlas in 2018.
Wow, so it's been going on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And Safiyya, my next question is, why do you guys box? Because obviously you guys are also boxers who have been boxing at the gym, I assume.
Yeah.
And I want to know, why do you box?
So obviously our mum owns the club, and her influence on us is pretty strong. So I think she sort of got us into boxing. Like, she encouraged us a lot. And yeah.
And why do you box, Mahdiyya?
For the same reason. My mum's like at a boxing gym almost every single day. So we're heavily influenced by her.
Right. So obviously with boxing comes a lot of responsibility and I'm guessing there's a lot of skills you have to do with boxing, and it's not just fighting like everyone presumes. So can you guys tell us, what's your favorite thing about boxing? Or with boxing, what do you guys do in boxing? Because I bet 100 people that are watching, no one knows about boxing. Can you tell us a little bit about boxing?
I can walk you through like what a session would look like. So first, when you come in, we'd start with skipping to warm up. You'd skip for around 10 to 15 minutes just to warm up a bit. And then after that, the coach will tell you to put your ropes away, and you'll start with a bit of cardio, like running around the gym or just doing exercises like press-ups, sit-ups, things like that. And then from there, the coach will decide whether they want you to do like pad work with your partner or bag work or sparring and things like that. And it just like continues from there, and you do a lot of bag work where you'll learn different combinations with your partner, and pad work too.
So do you guys do fights straight away, or is there like a few like practice fights and then fighting? How does it work?
I think it's a long process. You have to get used to the sport first, and it takes a long time for the coach to decide that you're ready to box. And then if you want to box as an amateur boxer, then the coaches will get your medical sorted, where they get you a booklet basically to show that you're able to box. And then you have fights organised.
You obviously would have a lot of practice sparring beforehand, so that you kind of get used to being in the ring.
Have you guys done any of your fights or been in a fight before?
No, we mainly just train there because I really like the... I enjoy doing pad work more than anything, because I like when the coach gives me a certain combination and I have to learn it, and executing it correctly feels like very like exhilarating. So I really enjoy that part.
So what is pad work?
So pad work is literally where your coach will have like, they're called pads, right? And they're on your hands. And the coach will hold them. You'll have your gloves on, and then they'll give you different combinations. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And then they give you different combinations, and then you just like do the combination that they say. And sometimes they can be really, really complicated. And when you actually get it right, it feels really good. It does feel really good.
So do you enjoy pad work as well, or do you enjoy something else about boxing?
I do enjoy pad work, but I prefer the fitness side of boxing, because obviously you need to like build your stamina to keep going. So there's a lot of fitness to do with boxing, and I think like it just pushes my body to its limits, and the feeling of adrenaline is like really nice. So I like that bit.
So when doing your fitness, what do you do in fitness? Like, is it like normal basics like sit-ups and press-ups, or is it...
Everything. There's a lot. Like, we even do a Thai run, so we have to run around the gym, and I think that really, really gets me going. It's quite hard as well.
So do you enjoy the fitness side as well?
I think I enjoy pad work a lot more than fitness. I think my stamina is not great, but I do enjoy exercises that we do, like when we do like partnered exercises, when we do sit-ups with medicine balls and things like that. I enjoy that.
Sounds very interesting. I have to try that out. But I've seen a lot, like, obviously we've been through COVID a few years ago, and we've been in lockdown for a while. So I want to know, how did you guys train during COVID? How was it for you guys? Because with boxing, I assume you guys had to get pretty close to like spar and stuff.
Yeah.
So how did that work out?
So obviously, when it was COVID time, we couldn't like touch people. You had to have social distancing. So our coach, we prioritized the boxers more than anyone else. And then we went to parks and we did sessions in the parks where people were like separated, like no one was next to each other. We wouldn't do pad work and things like that. And if we did, then the coaches and the boxer would have a mask on.
Shows so much determination. That was just what you guys did.
Yeah.
And obviously, because your mum owns the gym, would you guys like train still normally, or would you guys just stay at home and train at home?
We used to train as well, but with my mum, it used to just be like us three, and we'd go to the gym and do like weights and things like that.
How did it was more fitness when we trained.
How did it feel like just being the only people there?
It's really nice. It's a nice feeling having the gym empty and it's like your own place.
But did you guys miss like all your friends who were boxing with you guys and stuff like that?
And I feel like Atlas has created like a really nice community. So when lockdown started, it was like everything, like our big family kind of like disappeared.
That's so cute. Because I've seen a bit of your Instagram feeds and it looks like you guys are very like close and stuff. And I think that's the best thing about working together. You get very close. So have you guys met any famous boxers? Because obviously the boxing community is very wide and big. And I want to know, have you guys met anyone famous?
So
we did get invited to a women's in boxing conference.
In Loughborough. It was the first one ever.
Yeah.
And my mum got invited.
Yeah, and we got to meet Natasha Jones. She's a professional boxer. And she shared her story with us of how she like got into boxing and her sort of experience as well.
So how did you guys get into like the conference?
So when my mum was invited, me and my sister and 2 of our female boxers volunteered there. So we did a few tasks there, like organising people into different groups. And because it was around the end of COVID time, we even had like certain stickers that you'd give to people, whether they wanted to have their hand shaked or no contact or be hugged and things like that.
That sounds
kind
so
of crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
So did you guys have a good time, and what did you guys do there
So there was a lot of inspirational women, not just in boxing, but just like a lot of women who've had really like hard backstories and how they've come from nothing and made themselves something like quite big. So that's where we met Natasha Jones, and we met a lot of different coaches from different amateur clubs. And my mum actually made a lot of good contacts there as well. Yeah. Like a lot of different women who own different clubs. And it was nice to see because you don't see women that much who own gyms, boxing gyms specifically.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see that there's actually a big like community of women who actually own gyms and stuff, because it's more thingied about like that's a man's job or a boy's
male
thing.
dominated.
Yeah, male dominated. Yeah, 100%. So do you guys know anyone who competes in these fights?
Yeah,
and has anyone from the boxing gym competed in a fight?
Yeah.
We have quite a few boxers, but I think one that really stands out to me is one of our Muslim female boxers. She's been boxing since the gym started in 2018, and she's had quite a few fights. She's won them as well. She's very, very, very dedicated. Like, she's constantly at the gym. It's like her second home now.
She's probably our most loyal boxer.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing about boxing and working with people. You create such a strong bond with them, and it just shows that a stranger can become so close and a friend to you in seconds, minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think that's the best thing. If you guys are close to her, you guys know her well, and she's been loyal to you guys for that long. And it just shows Allah's boxing is actually doing amazing, because if she's winning all her fights, you guys are doing something right.
And I also feel like it builds families. Like, I feel like Atlas is like a big family, because this boxer, Mitz, she's literally become one of our closest friends, and it's through Atlas. We got introduced to her through my mum when she first started boxing, and we've become really, really close. So I feel like we've got good relationships with the people there as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the best thing, like being with people, and it also builds your social skills. Like you get to meet new people.
You talk to a lot of like unfamiliar faces.
Yeah.
So you have to like develop the ability to be able to communicate.
And your confidence and organisation skills for us, because we help our mum out a lot in like the admin work. When people come in, you have to sign them in and you have to charge them certain amounts for what they want, whether they want monthlies or pay as you go. And it's quite nice because you get to talk to a lot of different people. So it's a very like social place.
I think that's the best thing because it works up your skills for your future life as well, and it's not just like it bases on one bit of your life. It's like this skills will help you in your future life.
Yeah.
I got something for the viewers. If you guys do have any questions as well, please message us and we'll answer them. We'll try our best to answer them. The number to message is 077 488 55055. That's 077 488 55055. So if you guys have any questions for Safiyya and Mahdiyya, please do send us a message and we will make sure we answer them and see if you guys can get any knowledge of the boxing and Atlas boxing.
Yeah.
My other question was for you guys, going back a little bit in the boxing history. Do you guys know who the first female boxer was and who she is?
Yeah, so her name's Christy Martin, and we actually watched a documentary on her. She was really, really empowering to watch in that show.
Unfortunately, she had a history of psychological and domestic abuse, but she still like pulled through and carried on with her boxing, and it's just very inspirational.
So was this trauma of hers through boxing, because of boxing, and then she still went on with boxing?
Yeah,
It actually was. It was the fact that her coach was her husband. So the psychological and domestic abuse was from him. It was a result of him being her coach. But she still pulled through and she got herself out of it and she continued to fight. And I think that was really, really inspirational for us to watch. And it's a Netflix documentary as well. So if you want to watch it.
Yeah. How is it being a female doing boxing? Like, because obviously Christine Martin went through a lot of things with her husband and being a coach. I think one of them was because she was a woman. Obviously now in this society, alhamdulillah, everyone's very understanding of everything. But till today, you still get these comments that, why do you do boxing?
Yeah,
I'm sure
you
do. Yeah, you're a girl. It's a boy sport. And it's the same with a lot of other sports like football, basketball. Everyone is like, it's a boy sport. It's a boy sport. And to me, I feel like any sport doesn't have a gender to it. It's a sport which was made for everyone. And I think sports are just so like including, and you can just have anyone playing it, and it just kind of works on your skills. So I want to know, how is it for you guys being females, young females in this society, living here in Leicester, being a female, doing boxing? How is it? Do you guys get any hate? How is it different to anything?
I think it's definitely really empowering for us. With my mum especially has got a lot of comments before in the past, like, why are you doing boxing? You own a boxing gym, but you're a female, things like that. But I feel like it's very, very empowering because she's the main coach, not the main coach, because she owns the gym and she's a female, it invites a lot of other girls to come. So one of our demographics is young females, and like one of our best boxers, like I said before, is a female girl, a Muslim female girl. So I feel like it's very, very empowering because it like subverts the idea that boxing is only for boys. It really does do that because we feel confident enough to be part of it now.
We definitely do have a good group of young girls coming to Atlas to train and box.
And with Atlas, is it also a male boxing club? Like, do you guys allow males to come in as well?
Yeah, it's a mixed club.
And I think that's the best thing, even though it's run by a woman. And obviously, I'm 100% sure your mom's gotten many comments throughout her years. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, she's pushed through and she's made such a good boxing club. And she's so successful right now. I've seen it. And in my school, that's what we talk about. Atlas boxing, Atlas boxing, Atlas boxing. And I think it's amazing to see how far you guys have come and that the community is so into it, as well as like obviously you guys have your own family and stuff who obviously determine themselves so much to it. And I feel like that the community's also joined in really well, and that's a mix of group is even better.
I think Atlas really does give back to the community. Like last year, well, when COVID was ending, I'd say, we had this project called Atlas Minds, and it was aimed at young female girls who we would all come together in this group in Atlas, and the main aim was to target mental well-being and mental health and how we can go about anxiety and depression and stress and things like that. And there was a lot of females there. It was 4 girls, but there was a lot of young girls there. And I think Atlas really does give back to the community a lot.
So, going off what you just said there about mental health and stuff like that, did boxing help you guys through any tough stages in your life?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely did. I feel like I went through a long period of like anxiety and depression, but physical activity, and specifically boxing, where it's a sport where you can get your anger out, you can really get your anger out, you can punch the bags and you can spar with people and you can just get all of everything that's built up inside of you just out of you through a physical activity. I think it really, really does help. And you release a lot of happy hormones when you do boxing.
And you, Safiyya?
Also, it's like it's sort of an escape from reality. Like when you're there, when you're boxing, you're so focused on it. You can't you don't think about anything else. You're just thinking about the boxing. So it kind of gets your mind off of any problems you might have at that period in time.
100% going to think about joining boxing. No, but alhamdulillah, it sounds like boxing has really helped you guys become who you guys are right now. And I know Safiyya very well, and she is an amazing, amazing person.
Thank you.
She's a very happy person as well. And I feel like just being around people that she loves as well has gotten to do her. And I don't think she'll be how she is without Atlas boxing.
Yeah, most likely not.
But yeah, so till today you guys still box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys enjoy it, obviously, I'm guessing.
Yeah, a lot.
Yes, obviously.
My other question for you guys was, what is your age ranges for boxing?
Okay, so we have quite a wide age range.
Yeah, there's a variety of people.
Yeah, there's a very big, there's a lot of different demographics. And I'd say it starts from around the age of 8, because we have little boxers who we call our Atlas Cubs. And then we have like our teen age range, which is around from like 13 to 18. And then we have a few people, we have like older kids as well.
Adults as well.
Yeah, and then we have adult sessions as well. And we get a lot of different people. It's not like, it's very diverse with age.
It's a good outcome.
Yeah. And like one of our coaches, our eldest coach, is around 75 to 80.
Wow.
And he's been in the boxing world for really, really long, and he's still active. So that's empowering as well.
That's amazing. 80 years old and he's boxing.
It's also really motivating. Like if he can do it, why can't I?
Yeah, why can't we?
That's great. That's actually very touching. Like, just to think that there's people with that age still doing boxing, it actually is like, wow. Right. So Safiyya, I've got a question for you. How does it feel doing your exams at the moment and carrying boxing?
I think boxing sort of helps me cope with my exams because, like we said, it's a stress reliever, and it's just like it's something else that I can do other than stress about my exams. Obviously, GCSEs are very stressful right now, and I do quite enjoy it, but I can't obviously do it as much as I could before because of the exams. I have to also balance the revision and everything. Yeah, you always have to have a balance.
So obviously I've heard you guys are relocating at the moment.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, does it feel weird taking a break in boxing? Because obviously during lockdown you guys did not stop.
Yeah.
During the toughest time in our lives you guys did not stop. So right now, while it's relocating, do you guys not miss boxing at all?
I really do. I feel like I miss the community that we had, because boxing, like for my mum, she's there 5 times a week. She's there literally every single day in the evening. She's just constantly there. That's like her home now. But it's kind of weird because like that's completely stopped. Like we still see people, like they'll come and help out like in building the new gym. But that's about it. It's not like the sessions. There's not that, do you know that vibe where there's lots of people? Like we used to have around 40 kids that would come on one session. So it's really different now because it's very quiet. So I'd say that I do miss it.
And do you miss it?
Yeah, I do miss it, but I don't think it feels as different because obviously moving a boxing club, there's a lot of work going into that. So you still need like a good few people to help out. So you still kind of have like
So
the
it's still
people
keeping
there.
you guys busy during your
It's still
days.
giving us something to do.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Once again, if you guys do have any questions for Safiyya and Mahdiyya about Atlas Boxing, do message us on 0774 88 55 055. That's 0774 88 55 055. Do you guys have anything to add on about boxing that we've missed out? Like, why do you guys box? Who started it? And obviously, we've answered all of those. Do you guys have any competitions going on?
So we're an amateur boxing club, which means that we're under England Boxing. And when we have competitions, we haven't held our own competitions yet, but they're usually at different boxing clubs, and they'll hold an event where they'll invite some boxers, some of your boxers and some boxers from other places, and then you'll have a fight. So we do get a lot of boxers who go out, and a lot of their friends that'll come and support during that time. And yeah, it's a really nice buzz, I'd say.
It's a vibe.
Are there any competitions going on right now?
Not at the
now.
moment, no.
I think we're
So-
sort of a bit busy with the relocating.
Have you guys won any like trophies for boxing or certificates or stuff like that?
So we don't actually fight, but our boxers who do, they do get trophies every time. But I feel like boxing is very inclusive. Like, even if you don't win, you'll still get a trophy to show your participation and that you actually tried really hard.
So have you guys won any like
No,
trophies
we
or
haven't.
certificates?
I didn't. Oh, as in Atlas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our boxers have, but
Yeah.
not us two specifically.
Okay. But obviously, inshallah, one day it could be you guys and not them.
One day.
No, but I think from everything I've learnt, Atlas is very including.
Yeah, it's very inclusive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one question I also have for you guys is, what are your guys' ambitions and goals with boxing? Like, do you guys have any goals to take this further, or you guys just want to focus on studying at the moment? And for the near future, what's your plans?
So at the moment, I feel like I'm focusing on studying, and I have like uni ahead of me, but I am staying in Leicester, which means that I'm going to be a more active role in boxing. It's kind of been, I've kind of been participating a bit less because of the relocation of the gym, but when it does get up and running again, then I'm definitely going to be having like a bigger role.
So do you feel like, Safa, do you feel like boxing will take a big place in your future?
I think more, I'll carry it on. I wouldn't like
Take it as a
compete
profession.
I wouldn't compete for the club, but I'd carry it on because I think boxing is more than just like the sport. It really helps you like develop skills that you need in life, and it increased my confidence a lot. I can say that I wasn't the most confident when I was younger, but it did help. And also because you're talking to a lot of people, that helps a lot. And you do need to be able to communicate with people when you're older, obviously.
How does it live? How does it feel living with a coach who's a boxer?
I think me and my sister are very, very disciplined.
Yeah.
And like organized and responsible, and we're very sociable as well, and that's all a result of living with a boxing coach. Because my mum tries to instill all of these values in us, and as a single parent as well, she tries her hardest to make us stronger and better, and she does discipline us a lot, and I think we're very confident girls, and that's because of her and because of the atmosphere that she's helped us grow in.
Do you have any messages for girls who are watching this show? And do you have any messages for them to say to them if they want to join boxing or they want to do a sport? Because I'm guessing, obviously, you guys are influencers now. Now you guys have been on the radio. You guys are influencers for Atlas Boxing. So do you guys have any messages for any young people to say if they want to join boxing, not even just the girls, even the boys, if they do want to do boxing or any other sport, what would be your message to them if they're too scared to do it?
So I feel like a lot of girls, especially in like the Asian Muslim community, are
100%.
very, very scared to join boxing.
Me, myself,
Because of
I would love to do
people
boxing.
judging them. I think
Yeah, they're
they just
scared
feel
of
like people are
judgment.
going to watch them and like ridicule them, but it doesn't happen.
I can promise you that people in the boxing gym don't care about what you're doing. Everyone sticks to their
Everybody's
own thing.
focusing on
I
themselves.
feel like growing up, especially in this
Community.
Gen Z generation.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about the community.
Yeah.
Gen Z generation, where everything is based on followers, likes, comments, and
Yeah.
all about the social media and
Yeah.
stuff. I feel like people just get too thingy and they're like, it's not cool, or like for myself doing radio, and obviously at my school I do the podcast and stuff, but doing radio as well, it's like, I don't know if it's the right thing for me, because I'm feeling like, what if someone comes up to me and starts making fun of me because I'm doing some radio like this? But I think I'm surrounding myself with the right people
Yeah.
who push me to do it. Like, I have my friends and Safiyya as well. I don't even think I'd be here without my support from my friends and family, and I think they've just pushed me to stick to a podcast and radio because it's something I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
But to myself, I feel like, what if someone sees it and makes fun of me?
Yeah.
So I feel like, not just with me, but I think with every girl in this generation, they just feel like that's what's going to
like
happen.
self-conscious and scared.
Yeah.
I think that if you're scared to do boxing as a female as well, you should try it for the first time. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to continue. But if you do, then, and it's something you want to pursue, then at least you'll know after trying it. And I also feel like self-defense is very, very important, especially for a girl, because a
Yes,
lot of girls
100%.
don't know how to protect themselves. And if you're
100%.
ever in a situation like that, then boxing will really help you.
Yeah, it's always good to know how to defend yourself.
Has
from
boxing
anything.
ever helped you guys in self-defense? That's a question I
We've,
have.
we've never
I've
really
never
gotten
gotten
into
into any
fights,
situation
so-
like that.
That's good. Do you guys know anyone at the boxing gym who's been in a conversation like that?
Well, some of the girls that fight for us have gotten into situations like that, but I feel like because people know that they are boxers, they don't mess with them, they don't touch them.
Yeah, I'm scared of Safiyya. I'm gonna say that right now.
Because it's privileges.
I'm really scared of Safiyya. No, but yeah, I do want the viewers at home who are listening to this show, and I'm sure you guys also want to answer their questions.
Yeah.
So please do message. We are waiting for your guys' messages. We want to know if you guys have any questions for them. If you guys want to do boxing as well, I'm sure that these two will not have an issue telling you guys how to sign up. So if you're too scared to message in, let's ask them right now. How do you guys sign up for your boxing club?
So you can find my mum's business number if you literally search Atlas Boxing, or if you look at the Instagram, then you can find it on there as well. And if you call in and ask my mum like what would be the best session for you to come to, then she'll let you know, she'll guide you through everything and let you know how to come. Then once you do come, you'll just sign up with her, pay for the session, and then you can try it out.
So it's very simple.
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Yeah, so I
Not
think
that
that's the
much
best
to
thing
it.
as well. So it's like there's not like so much that you guys have to do to like do the backing. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, normally people think it's so extra, like you have to do sign up, email, phone number, all of this
Nah,
and stuff.
it's not long like that.
Yeah,
It's quite a quick process.
I think that's the worst thing for people like us, like it being a very long process, and then it has to be like
the only
prolonged.
thing that you would have to do is sign a medical form, but
Yeah.
that's for health and safety
But that's
reasons.
obviously, yeah, because
So,
you guys are doing
yeah.
a very dangerous sport. Going off the topic of boxing, I want to know, what are you guys doing right now for your studying? Obviously, like you both mentioned, you're doing your GCSEs and you're doing your A-levels soon. Inshallah, in my duas, I remember you guys pass your
Thank
exams,
you.
100%. And I hope you guys also at home make the dua that they pass. But let's start off with Mahdiyya. Mahdiyya, can you tell us what you're studying right now?
Okay, so I'm currently in my last year of A-level exams. Of my A-levels, sorry. And I'm studying physics, maths, and English literature. I get a lot of questions about why I do those three, because it's a weird combination. But the reason why is because physics and maths is what I want to do in uni, because I want to go on to do astrophysics, inshallah. But English is because I just really, really enjoy it. So, yeah, that's what I do. right now.
We have one message before I go on to Safiyya. So the message is, if you had one message to inspire all the young girls and boys looking at starting their boxing journey, what would it be? Follow-up question, what's the one thing you would change about the way boxing is currently portrayed in the media? That is a very, very good question. So first, let's answer the first question. If you had one message to inspire all the young boys and girls looking at starting their boxing journey, what would it be?
I think that I would just tell them to actually
Just go for it.
Go for it. Like,
go for it.
don't be scared and actually try it for the first time, because you're never going to know what you like until you try it. So by actually being brave enough to try it, you'll know like what it's like, what the sport is actually like.
Yeah,
And
if you let your
also
thoughts
message.
get to you, then it's not like,
Yeah, because
it's not
a
the
lot-
best. If you just do it, you'll see what it's actually really like and how it's not scary, and people don't judge you or criticize you if you do anything wrong. So it's much better than like you might think it is.
And a lot of the times we have this mental block that tells us that we can't do something because of how scared we are. But like, if you've ever had like anxiety and things like that, and you need to get up and you need to do stuff, but you're too scared to, the only way to do it is by actually starting off somewhere. So I'd give the same advice for boxing. Like, if you wanted to try it, then you just need to get up and try it. Go out and try it.
But the other question they asked us was, what's the one thing you would change about the way boxing is currently portrayed in the media? Obviously, it's portrayed as a very
Male-dominated sport.
male-dominated, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's also very gory, and like it's very dangerous.
Yeah, so one of the things that change is the way that women are portrayed in boxing, for sure, because a lot of the times women are very underrepresented in boxing.
Yeah, you don't really
So,
see them.
Yeah, so I'd like a lot more representation for women on like magazines and things like that. And also
That'd be amazing.
and also, boxing is described as a very dangerous sport. A lot of the time, parents don't want their children to do boxing because they're like, oh, what if you get head injuries, things like that. But
It's quite controlled.
it is very
so-
controlled. And especially if you're starting off at an amateur boxing club, you'll be wearing head guard, a mouth guard. You'll be wearing a lot of different things to protect you, so you're not actually going to get hurt. And also, you don't start sparring until you are ready, until the coaches say that you are ready enough
and
to
until
start.
you feel comfortable
Yeah.
with doing it. So you don't do anything against your will.
So I think that's the best thing. As long as you're not getting forced to do anything, then I don't see a problem in starting boxing. But I think that was a very good way to change one thing about it, because I've seen on the media a lot of stuff that boxing is male dominated, which I do not believe. I believe if they can do it, we can do it. And if her mom Safiyya's mom and Mahdiyya's mom has come this far, mashallah, making her own gym in such a small city as well, because Leicester is not that big of a city.
Yeah.
And Allah's boxing is very well known, alhamdulillah, mashallah. But yeah, I think that now that it's so well known and that it has become such a big thing, then I don't see the issue with anyone else trying. Like, I feel like if one person can do it, we should keep her as our role model and make her the center of it, and say, if she can do it, I can do it. Like Safiyya said, boxing is very motivating.
It is.
Talking about role models, I do have a question. Sorry. Who is your guys' boxing role model?
Definitely my mom.
My mom.
Oh
is
wow!
definitely our mom.
Wow. Guys knew exactly what you guys are gonna say there. Why your mom?
She's just very like, she persevered through a lot, and I think
A lot of hardships.
looking at her,
that
she's really like she's a really strong woman. So I look up to her a lot, even whether it's in boxing or just life generally. I look up to her and I aspire to be like her.
Yeah. A few years ago, there was this event for Superwoman of the Year. My mum won.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god!
she has like this glass plaque kind of certificate that shows her as the Superwoman of the Year, and that's literally how we portray her.
Superwoman.
We literally see her as our Superwoman. She's our complete inspiration and motivation, and everything that she has done in her life is very, very significant for us.
And
That's so
everything that we
sweet.
have is because of her, and like our kind of motivation to get like amazing grades in
And
school
work hard in life
and really
is
work
because
hard
of her.
is from her.
And we're just really, really grateful for like the life that she's given us and the family that
Yeah.
she's provided for us.
Do you guys have any like influencers who box? Obviously, yes, you guys have said your moms. But while boxing, is there anyone who you want to be like, who actually fights and stuff?
I guess we could talk about like Tasha Jones, who we were speaking about before, when she was describing her story. The fact that she has a child and she's built herself up from nothing was really, really inspirational, and I really, really like that. And also Christy Martin, like we said before. And
I've actually heard the story of Christy Martin, like you guys explained to me earlier on, and I think she has been through so much in her life, and to see that she's been through it all through boxing as well, and to see it the way she came out of it was like
with so much resilience and strength.
And I think that's life lessons that we should take in from these people, that although you're gonna have tough bits in life, you're gonna come through a lot of obstacles, but at the end of it, you guys have to just push through it all.
Yeah.
So do you guys have anything to tell the viewers at home about boxing or anything to do with boxing? Like,
I think that boxing is a very good sport, and it teaches you a lot of discipline. And I think that when you start boxing, you'll automatically feel more confident, because you get that you get a really, really good buzz from it, and it makes you just feel happy. And
And boxing is more than just a sport. Like, whichever club you go to, like we said with Atlas, you build a second family, and everybody's just good to each other, and it's just like, it's a warm feeling.
do you have any friends in boxing at the moment with you?
Yeah.
Recently, we've got a new boxer, and he's like this Ukrainian boy, and he's recently moved because of the war, and he actually turned out to be our neighbor.
Oh my god!
So,
wow,
it was really, really weird.
Sorry, that is so funny. That is so funny.
He was our neighbor, and he was like a pro boxer in Ukraine. So he's
Wow.
like a new addition to our gym, and he's very, very good. So my mum's trying to get him pro as well.
Who is your guys' best male boxer, and has he won any fights, or do you guys not have a good male boxer?
We do have. So this boy that we're talking about right now, he looks like he's gonna be one
Our
of the best.
best.
Yeah, because he's very, very good. But before that, we have had like a few male boxers who are really good, and they've had a couple of fights, and a lot of them have won with like knockouts and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're like
Scary.
older. They're not around our age.
They're adults.
Yeah.
My last question, or my other question is, do you guys know anyone who trained with your mom, trained at Atlas, who's become a big sensation or has done something amazing with their life after leaving Atlas?
We have a lot of people in our gym who I think do a lot of things other than boxing. So I'm not sure how to really pin that down, but
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No, it makes enough sense for me. Going back to you, Mahdiyya, you said that you do 2 times jobs.
Oh,
so I do want to kind of go back to that, because I feel like there are a lot of young teens like yourself who have jobs, but they don't know how to balance jobs with boxing and stuff.
And A-levels.
And A-levels, obviously,
Yeah.
and exams. And you put out a message that you are doing 2 jobs whilst doing boxings, whilst doing A-levels. So you're doing like 5 things at once, and it's crazy. So I want to know from you, how does it feel like doing 2 jobs?
I feel like right now I'm actually okay with it, because I do tutoring, but I also do waitressing.
Tutoring, right. Before you go on with that question, tutoring, what do you teach?
I tutor in maths and English, and sometimes physics. But I tutor mainly GCSE kids and kids that are doing their SATs right now.
Do you find it easy?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Sometimes it's difficult, because you have to have a lot of patience.
100%.
Because it's not like you're teaching yourself or like your sister. Like when I'm teaching my sister, I can just be straight up and rude.
That's
to her,
amazing for you, but like you have your own personal tutor.
Yeah.
So if you fail, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but with like other kids, you have to be really controlled and patient with them. But I think it's a very rewarding job. I do really enjoy it, and I think it's very nice to like
You're giving
help
back to the
out.
people as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, you're kind of giving to the community. Okay, carrying on with your question. How do you balance life, working and...
So at first it was very, very hard. So I was either at college too much and just completely focused on college and burning myself out mentally, or I was working every single day. And my mum was telling me all the time, like, you need to have a balance between them, because if you don't, then you're just going to be overworked all the time. So now with like waitressing, I work like once or twice a week. Then for tutoring, I only do around 7 hours a week, so it's not that much. It's like 1 every day or 2 in one day, things like that. And then the rest of the day I get dedicated to college, which is a good balance for me, because I need more focus on college than anything else right now, because I have really, really demanding subjects and they're very, very hard to get good in. So I'm trying to work really, really hard right now.
Obviously, you, Safiyya, don't have a job, but soon, inshallah, soon, as soon as you go to college. Do you feel like you balance school and boxing well?
Yeah, I'd say I've got a decent balance, but I'm more sort of focused on my schoolwork, because
I think it's
obviously
helped
I
you
wanna
guys
get
that
good grades.
Yeah, I think it's helped you guys that the gym's relocating, so it's giving you guys this
More
big
time.
to
Yeah.
like
Yeah, to take a
focus on
rest.
exams
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. So sorry, carrying on. Do you feel like you have a good balance?
Yeah, I do have a good balance. I do want to focus on my school, like on school more, a lot more actually, because I really, really, really want those good grades.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, all the viewers at home, make sure you guys pray for her, please.
Please.
And for me.
And for Mahdiyya, right. But my other question is, what are you planning to study when you go to college? Or do you have no idea?
She wants
No,
to copy
I've
me.
already
Just a copy.
Always
slightly
wants to
copied
copy
her.
me.
Slightly copied her.
But that's the thing about being an older sister. I think
There's a part.
Yeah, but you're a role model.
Where,
Exactly,
I
you're
have
a
to be a
role
role
model
model
for
to
her.
her.
And I think you having an older sister who you share the same interests with is amazing for you.
she
I
can
have-
help me.
I have an older sister, alhamdulillah, and with the interests we share, obviously we've got a really big age gap, 10 years, but it
Wow.
works out. It works out with the same interests, with whatever we do. It works out, alhamdulillah. And I feel like having an older sister is giving us a role model as the younger ones to look up to her, because they'll be so successful in their lives, and then we can like,
follow
exactly.
like in her footsteps, but obviously
It's not
our
copying.
own lives, not
It's not
completely copying.
No, but sorry, what are you gonna do when you go to college?
I want to do maths, physics, and business. I think I just I enjoy maths and physics a lot. I'm good with numbers, and obviously in physics there are a lot of numbers, so I enjoy that. And I thought business would just be interesting, so I picked it.
And how do you feel about your sister copying you?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, because ultimately I can help her. And also I like the fact that she's going into mathsy physics subjects, because that sector is also male dominated. It's getting better now. We're getting like more females into it, but it's good that she's doing something like that. And I feel like she's got a very, very mathsy brain, whereas me, I've got an English brain, but I'm still doing mathsy subjects. So
I think I'll be better off with the maths subject.
yeah.
Safiyya's like, I can beat you at one thing. How does it feel? Obviously, we talked about having an older sister as a role model. You being the older sister, how does it feel having a younger sister that looks up to you?
It's very different. For me, I was the first grandchild, first daughter, first child, everything. First niece. So for me it was different. I feel like I never had like a big sister in school with me, in college with me. I had to learn all of that stuff by myself, whereas for her, when she joined school, I
I've
could tell
always
her,
had the big sister.
yeah, I could tell her what to do. This is how you top up your card.
Yeah.
This is
I
what
walked
English
to school
is.
with her first
yeah.
time.
Yeah, she'd get scared walking by herself.
Alhamdulillah.
Now I
things
walk
like
by
that.
myself.
Alhamdulillah, that's amazing to see that. Not only an older sister can be a role model, a younger sister can also be the little companion to help by the side.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, thank you guys so much for coming on today's show. I really could have not done it without you guys. You guys have been amazing. Alhamdulillah, please do check them out on Atlas Boxing. But yeah, alhamdulillah, it's been an amazing show. I've really enjoyed myself. Been the first show of this Ramadan, young presenters, and I hope we can influence other people as well.
Thank